right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful day. I am Darkpool Algo, and thank you for joining me on another morning watch list building session. 1 second, I got to get a couple more things going here, and just making sure that things are working the way they're supposed to. All right, look at that. And let me make sure the chat's working. Move my boom up a little bit so y'all can hear me. And all right, that's going. All the technology is working. Okay. Hey, welcome. I'm Darkpool Algo. Thanks for joining me on another morning watch list building session. Today is Monday, October 18th, 2021, and the stock market's gonna go crazy. Yes, it is. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Sorry, I have charts over here. I got to keep an eye on. Those are the futures. And crude is making a move. We'll get into that in a second. So I hope everybody's weekend was good. Hope you had a chance to watch the weekend video. I don't really want to rehash those. So if we can find some new plays to go over, that would be super cool. If you've got requests, get them into me now. This is the first time joining me on the stream, welcome. I analyze smart money, dark pool, and block trades, looking for divergence using a software tool called FlowTrade. It is the smart money dark pool, and well, you know what it is. It tracks the flow index, which is real-time predictive indicator tracking smart money, large institutions, and massive purchases. Basically, it shows us what the big boys are doing before the market gets a chance to react. So we're not following, RSI around. We're not following stochastics. We're not chasing things. What we're doing is we are seeing what's going to happen before it happens. So that being said, I've got some news I want to go over. Morning. It's earnings week. There's lots of news coming out with the big boys, Netflix, and that show Squid Game. There's a leak, 800 million. Ooh, that's crazy. Probably one of the best bangs there is. Candy Apple Crisp is fire. It's fire, let me tell you. All right. And get rid of some of the stuff we don't need here. And let's get going. All right. So, in the news, Upstart downgraded to underperform neutral from Bank of America. So finally, Upstart might take a breath for a minute. Members of a congressional committee questioned whether Amazon executives misled them during an investigation into the company's business practices in which they may have lied under oath. Oopsie. Amazon's out there being sneaky, being super sneaky. Jeez. All right. Moving on. Netflix estimates that its latest mega hit, Squid Game, will create almost $900 million in revenue for the company and only cost about $21 million to make. Netflix estimates 89% of people who started watching the show watched at least 75 minutes, more than one episode, and 66% of viewers, or 87 million people, have finished the series within the first 23 days. Those are crazy numbers. Disney is downgraded to equal weight from overweight by Barclays. They cut their target from 175 to 210. Okay. Downgraded, price increase. Dell, positive mention in Barron's. So it looks like it's going to acquire VMware later in November, which is good. VMware is a solid product. So we might keep an eye on Dell. Merck. The plan to roll it out, Merck's promising antiviral pill to treat COVID risks repeating the inequities of vaccine distribution, potentially leaving the nation with the greatest need once again at the back of the line, International Health Group says. Jeez. NGTX, positive note, BTCX. I don't really do a whole lot of biotech stuff. They're just like, you play the run up, and that's it, right? BIIB, however, said a late-stage experimental treatment for an inherited form of amyotrophic lateral ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, failed to reach its main goal. Shoot, bummer. That's going to be bearish. Anyway, Virgin Galactic downgraded to sell from neutral with a $15 target. They had so much promise. Steel Dynamics downgraded from equal weight to overweight, and Occidental Petroleum off of the weekend watch list. Oxy upgraded to buy from hold. The crude market is going crazy. It's going to be super solid today. Speaking of, crude futures closed at fresh 7-year high last week at 82.28. They hit 83.85 pre-market. So crude's going to run today. Be careful. Don't get sucked into anything stupid. Zillow. So ZG, I read about this earlier. They're taking a break from buying homes because they've spent their entire budget for this year. So they were doing a lot of house flipping. So they'd buy a bunch of houses. They're done with their budget. They're just going to focus back on finishing up their backlog, right? That might be something to look at that. Let's keep an eye on Zillow. I don't think it's ZG. I think it's Z, to be honest with you. I gotta write this down. I've learned that if I write the stocks down that I'm interested in, then I have a better chance of making a play on them during the day. Because I have a tendency to look at probably 60 tickers before they open. And yeah, that's just too much for anybody's brain to be like, oh, remember that one play? Yeah, anyway, moving on to world news. Chinese Q3 GDP missed, raising 0.2% quarter over quarter and 0.5% consensus. So with the Chinese, all right, so Chinese market is really going to affect us simply because, one, I read an article that they launched a supersonic missile that cruised around the globe and then hit its target, and we didn't even know about it. So if you don't know what supersonic missiles are, they travel 5 times faster than the speed of sound, and what's different between them and regular missiles is they can change their trajectory. Like normal missiles, normal subsonic missiles can, when they fire it, it's just a straight line. So our defense systems are like, oh, if we launch a bunch of countermeasures at this point, the missile will run into it. Well, with this missile that China has just tested successfully, they can be cruising along and be like, oh, we've got, countermeasures are up there. Let's just change direction and avoid it. So that's sketchy as hell. Anyway, I think they did a massive head fake on us. They're like, hey, we're going to, make the market focus on all of our stocks being crap. And in the meantime, we're going to do a little ropey dope and test this new nuclear. It's a nuclear missile too. So China, I'm not super happy with them right now. Anyway, that was a tangent. Macro news, NYMEX up, Brent up, gold down 6.7. Actually, gold is chopping. The Euro USD is down. The yen is up. I don't like that 10-year note is up. So again, with bonds, if bonds in the yen are up and gold is up, the market will typically sell off. Just rotation. Apple. All right, so Apple has an announcement today coming out with new MacBook Pros, or new MacBooks, a Mac Mini, and AirPods. So should be interesting with Apple. We've got a little bit of earnings after the close. So I will be playing earnings this week. I will not be playing them early in the week unless it's a company that I can get some decent data on. Okay. There's someone moving around in my house. It's too early for anybody to be awake though. Let's see. The Dow jumped 33, or the S&P up 33. Dow rose 382 points. Crazy. NASDAQ up 73, and the Russell down 8.5. So U.S. stocks to look to build on last week's gains, and large caps with shares of Amazon, Tesla, each raising more than 3%, while the small caps Russell 2000 underperformed, falling as investors bailed on value stocks for growth stocks. Strong quarterly earnings from the Dow component. Goldman Sachs also boosted financials. Investors prepare for a flood of reports next week. Shares of cryptocurrency and blockchain-related firms gained last week as Bitcoin topped 61,000 for the first time. So let's check out our friends in Coin and Mrna. So I want you to know that this coin play I made last week, that I sold a put credit spread, I got a $70 credit for it. I took that $70 and bought a $70 call, the 170s, 270s, 172, one of the two, I think. I bought another one on top of it. So initial, total investment was about $70 for two 170 contracts at 65 cents a piece that ran to $10 a piece. Money. All right. In Asian markets, the Bay Index, the Nikkei Index. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. No, for real. The Nikkei Index dipped 43 points to 29,025. Shanghai slipped a few points to sell at 35.68, and Hang Seng Index rose 78 points to 25.49. So the Asian markets were slippery. Wonder why that is. Maybe because they're testing nuclear missiles to blow stuff up. In Europe, the German DAX is lower by 0.6%, or nearly 100 points to drop. That's crazy. So Asian markets, European markets all fell. Our bonds and our crudes and the yen, or the Japanese dollar is up, and gold is up. So it's gonna be a faded Monday. That would make sense. Faded Monday, rally Tuesday. I thought it was gonna be faded Tuesday. So just be nimble. There's no, we don't have any economic calendar news, anything like that should move the market, but just be nimble. All right. I know everybody's gonna be like, oh, Apple, this is what happens when Apple comes out with a new product. They sell off. Even though Apple's in a very strong position, I think it hits 147 and then pulls back. Okay. So play the rally, and then you can sell the rally, or you can play the rally up, but don't get suckered into thinking that just because Apple's coming out with some news that it's going to go crazy. It's really not. Okay. All right. Qualcomm, yes. Nice one, Johnny. I played Qualcomm last week. All right. I'm going to move this up here a little bit. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Hold on a second. I have a teenage daughter who doesn't have to be to school for another hour and a half, and she's like, I'm going to do my hair. She's so gorgeous. I love my daughter. All right. Where are we at? And that's it for news. So let's check out some requests. What did I write down earlier? Oh, that, you guys can see that. All right, here we go. We're going to look at ZG or Z coin. I want to look at hood. Let's see. I know I saw some other news out there. In a second, just double check. Yeah, let's check in on a firm from last week. It should maybe pull back, and let's see, what are the other requests we have here? Qualcomm, Zoom, Mrna, SC, and Upstart. All right. Good morning, chat. Johnny Laz, you showed up. Hey, what's up, buddy? Terry, Anthony. Hey, Anthony, you're back. Welcome back. I haven't seen you for a minute. Check out. I saw some news on Upstart too, so we'll check that one out. Hood, coin, Upstart, Mrna. All right. What am I missing here? Oh, Mrna. Qualcomm. XOM. Zoom. Alrighty, that's the list. Also, Apple. I did a pretty extensive review on Apple over the weekend. Somebody asked me to help them out with getting familiar with some stuff. So, ooh, seriously? It hasn't loaded yet? What's up, yo? Thank you. All right. This is another tool I use. Whoa, I don't want to hear the noises from them, though. All right, Interactive Brokers, EXPD, win. There was a request from someone for me to look at AQST, so I will definitely look at that first. They left a comment in the comment section below after they liked the video. Maybe that's what y'all should do. Look at that divergence on W. AQST. Right, let's get into it. Z. Is Z Zillow? Z Zillow Zeta. Let me just double check on that. Make sure I have the right ticker. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do. Yeah, that's Zillow. We're going to play the Z. I did not check out DOS Futures, so give me a second. Let me pull up the old futures piece, and we'll look at it there. All right. If you haven't set one of these up on your charts yet, I highly recommend that you do it, simply because it's good to know what's going on. Screenshot. If you need me to send you this layout, I believe I can. I don't think there's anything proprietary in there. Leave a comment. Hit me up in the comments, and I'll see if I can send you a futures grid for TOS. All right, looking at, I'm going to start with the bottom row. Gold. Well, I got to change my adjustments on this other chart over here. I thought gold was rallying. Anyway, gold had been selling off, failed to maintain support. It's down to Friday's new low at 17.6, 1760. It tried to rally. It hasn't been able to break pre-market highs yet, so I think gold can't continue to sell off. Crude, however, is just stair-stepping its way up. I like the $90 target on crude. I think we get there before the contract expires. So that might be a nice little futures play. ZB, which is the bond, the 30-year. We like to see this is TLT. If you're looking for an equity equivalent, this is TLT. If TLT is falling, you can pretty much assume that ES or NQ or YM ES is going to rise. They're kind of inverse, so keep an eye on that. And the yen, while I thought it was rising, it's just chopping back and forth. So I need to adjust my scale on this chart over here. I thought it was completely different than it was. So it is a healthy pullback off of a nice 2-day rally. We're pulling back to support right now. 44.40 is, for me, the determining level. Well, the pivot point is 43.80. 44.38.50 is the pivot point for the ES. The YM, which had the most potential, is falling off with a pivot point at 34.920 in Q. And Q's making kind of head and shoulders pattern, so be aware of that. This would be left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The neckline's right at 1560, 15060. Below that, yeah, we can get pretty nasty pretty quick. Okay. So if I were to draw a trend line, well, first let's do this. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There we go. So if I were to draw a trend line from this low to this low and extend it out in time, it can come all the way down to 15052 and needs to bounce. It did fail to make a higher high, or it's making a higher high as it failed to break pre-market high. All right, the Russell, this is a nasty, just the Russell just sold off. So they're like, hey, we're going to move our money out of the Russell into the YM or the ES. So keep an eye on that. Gold is just selling off. Crude is up. ZB is down. Okay. Y'all got the news. We got the futures. Make sure I got my chart set up. No. What? I got to go through and clean these. Actually, you know what? I kind of like this chart setup. I'm going to keep it for a minute. All right. I'm checking on the chat. Thanks, Chevy. That was very kind of you. All right, I just got to check on this other live stream I'm doing too to see if there's any chat requests. This is going to be weird. No. I don't want to hear myself. I don't want to hear myself. Thank you. All right. Hey, Stewie. I just got signed into the chat. I don't know which volume on which chart. If you can type it up in the chat again, I'll see if I can pull it up and we can go from there. Excuse me. All right, let's hop into it. There's so many stocks I want to look at. CrowdStrike, Lululemon, Aptiv. Like, these are all set to run. But we'll do with the ones we got. AQST, there was a request for that a while ago. We've got Bearish Divergence. I mean, this is a small... I mean, I don't play penny stocks, but this is my analysis of it. The algo's net selling. Price action's trying to make a comeback. It's making higher lows and higher highs. The algo has diverged bullish or bearishly from it at right around the 384 level. So if these support levels, right, these price action support levels cannot hold, I would be more bearish on this stock than bullish. It is a penny stock, so it's extremely volatile and it's really hard to do solid technical analysis on things that are so young that don't really know what they want to do yet. So it's real hard to do technical analysis on penny stocks. But we do have bearish divergence. Okay. All right. With that being said, that was AQST. What do I use for screening stocks? I've got a couple screeners that I like to look at. Price action being at a key level of support, whether it's like a 4-hour or a daily Keltner channel bottom. I think that makes for pretty solid support resistance. I've just got a basic scanner that says if stock is at steady low. That's it. I use FlowTrade quite a bit. There's a scanner built into FlowTrade that's updated every week, and every weekend there's a watchlist building session that FlowTrade puts on that is open to all members. And we go through about 900 stocks looking for some key strategies, separating those out into bullish and bearish sentiment. And from that, I go through and I pick 5 or 6 that, one, I've traded before or that I'm familiar with, or 2 that have got pretty significant divergence, such as this Stitch Fix one down here in the lower right-hand corner. This is pretty significant divergence, so I will be looking for a play on this. Okay, that's generally what I do. I try not to scan for too many stocks because it's like trying to learn to ride a bike every single day. Does it make sense? My suggestion would be find 5 or 6 stocks that you're interested in. Learn how they move, and then paper trade those for a while until you're comfortable with your strategy and the way that the stock moves, and then of course manage your money, manage your own risk, I guess is the best way to say it. Okay. All right, let's get into this coin. With a massive move on Friday, I don't know if this is going to form a head and shoulders, but this is pretty extended in my opinion. We don't have the algo's trailing price action. It is launching though, so this will move with Bitcoin or the crypto space. So there's opportunity here, but I think that the move I was looking for is done and over with. I'm looking to play the retracement back to this 260-ish level, right? I'm gonna wait for a pullback and then continue on like it did here, right? Rallied, pullback, rally. This stair stepping, which these are all, it's very bullish. However, I'm not going to chase it. We have dark pool levels at 274.80 and 245.34. Those are pretty. It's a pretty big range there. I also need to inform you that there is a gap that will need to be filled in this area here. So I'm looking for that pullback to fill this gap and then continuation on. If that fails, we've got another gap down here that's going to be filled. I mean, there's lots of little gaps that need to be filled. But I feel like that 245.35 is the new support. All right. ES and Incure and the Dow are all selling off, as well as the Russell. So this is just, I think it's just a sell-off right now. Okay. Zillow, is that Zillow? It is Zillow, right? Yeah, that's Zillow. What's the difference between Z and ZG? 8710. Are they the same stock? If they're the same stock, I'm going to be kind of bullish on this. It's making a nice pullback to the daily, weekly bottom for support. If 85.50, excuse me, 85.50 holds a support on Zillow, I think we can go long on it. I haven't even looked at what the flow algo is doing yet. Scratch that. So on Zillow, the algo is just in a consolidation point, right? After it's created, oh, get back here. Bearish divergence. All right, so we've got price action is heading in this direction, right? The algorithm is, so it sold off to consolidation. Grab the right tool. Sold off to consolidation, a break above this, and then we've got the algo's got a little bit of work to do to take out that high and really get out of that channel. So keep an eye on the algorithm for a move to the upside. Look for Zillow to bounce off of this level right here of support. And actually, you know what? I think we're a little late on that. 94.97. Is that right? Sorry, Zillow is at 86.75 pre-market. 8675 309. 8675 309. That's awesome. I hope somebody, just tell me somebody got that besides me. Anyway, so it filled the gap. Price actions pulled all the way back here, converged with the algorithm. So look for some significant movement on Zillow today. Qualcomm was the next one. Sorry. Qualcomm and Zome. What else do we have as requests? SE. Upstart. And yes, I will get into Futu. Don't let me forget Futu and Mrna. Where was I? Qualcomm? Qualcomm, yes. All right, so Qualcomm's got bearish divergence. The play on Qualcomm was last week. Qualcomm is currently at a dark pool level, but the algo is bearishly diverged. So look for some potential pullbacks here. The algo tried to make a rally. It got wrecked by this dark pool level at 122.71, and it's continuing to sell off. Right, so if and only if the algorithm curls up at that level and goes up and makes a new high, right, then we know the algo is changing directions and is in an upward channel. I would still anticipate price action pulling back to key levels of support. We have a dark pool level that it is providing support and resistance at 130.14. Right below that, we've got 122.71 as bottom support. We have a white line. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all what this, what my chart setup. Sorry. Okay, I apologize. I should have done that first. Over here on the upper right hand corner is Upstart. The white bars are price action. The purple line is the regular algorithm. If you see me draw a blue horizontal line, that is a dark pool trade. If I draw a red horizontal line, that is a regular block trade level. If I drop a white line, then y'all better know what to do. It's party time in the house. Just kidding. No, that means is that there was a regular block trade and a dark pool block trade that had printed so close to each other that I can't separate them out. Those are major areas of importance. So if I draw a white line on a chart, go ahead and draw that line on your chart. Notate it however you want. Just note it like regular and dark pool, level. So Qualcomm has one at 125.10. 125.20, right? That little 10-cent bebop there, difference between the two is a white line. That's going to be a target. It's a downside target. It's also support. I fully anticipate it coming down and testing that at some point. On its way down, it's going to eat all these regular block trades. I would say the 128 level is probably important, and the 126.10 would be the next most important one if the algo breaks its upward trend. So Qualcomm should be interesting today. Exxon Zoom, I don't even know how to say that. The algo is trading with price action. It's pulled away to the downside, so not saying that this divergence is going to play out now since crude's having such a strong move, but right, the algo was chopping, sold off, couldn't get above this cluster level at 60, 65, rejected off of that. Now, as far as trends go, right, if the algo can maintain, just similar to Qualcomm, if the algo can bounce at this level here and go back up, then I think it might be just continuation moving with price action. However, it's got to get through some of these regular block trade levels. There's a bunch of them. 63 is resistance, regular block trade resistance. 61.98 is support. Below that, and the level for the algo to get above would be 60.33. And we have a white line here on XOM as well, coming in at 60.51 right there. Pretty much where it rejected last time. So the move is algo bounces here and continues up, or algo fails here and continues down, taking out these previous lows, right? That will pull price action down with it. Even though technically price action looks pretty decent, right? A little bit of an uptrend there, you know, maybe a little bit of a pennant, like a little bull flag breakout, possibly. But it's got some gaps below it, and investor sentiment is, you know, the algo selling off. Coin, beast mode. Beast mode. It went to 281. My 270s would have paid bank. All right, moving on. SE. I like this stock. I played it a bunch. It's been pretty decent, right? As far as what's going on with it now, potential cup and handle breakout. The algorithm is trading with price action. Any divergences? Well, if price action pulls back to previous low, that'll complete the bearish divergence that had formed. The algo is trying to make a move. Looks like it's getting stuck though. So I'd look for a pullback for price action to at least that level. There's a bunch of gaps that may want to be filled, right? The algo needs to do a better job, right? So if the algo can hold this level, oh, get over here. The algo can hold that level, right? And kind of get, come on. All right, if it can make a higher high, then I think the algo will continue to pull price action up with it. However, there's some gaps that need to be filled, right? This is a pretty, whoa, my chart's gonna be wacky. All right, regular block trade, yeah, I gotta fix that. All right, regular block trade coming in at 325.10, right? That could be a downside target, also gapped up from that point, so be wary of that. Upstart is price actions trading with the algorithm. It got, were you here for the news? There was some news on Upstart. It got downgraded. This is a great stock. I can't believe, I mean, I was trading it at 160. It's crazy. I can't believe it's almost 4. Oh, it hit 400. All right. Algo is currently All right, Algo needs to get above that level. If it breaks down, it could pull price action with it. As far as price action is concerned, it's got kind of a little wedge it needs to break out of. There's a few gaps, no block trades. Right, there's a little gap here. It's really the only one. No block trades to help it out, which is interesting. Over the last 12 days, no regular or dark pool block trades have come in on Upstart. All right, moving on. What did I miss? Oh, Futu and mRNA. Is that what it was? Futu and mRNA. All right, I like who brought on Futu? Andrew, welcome to the chat. Nice call. First, nice call. Nice. All right, let's check out Futu. All right, so made a higher high, made a higher low. You've got regular block trade support and resistance. Okay. This is what needs to happen with the algorithm. So the algo is kind of doing one of those. I'd really be interested to see what happens when the algo gets over that level there. If it can come up here and make a higher high, then I would be a little bit more bullish on this stock. I'm not happy with this dead cat bounce stair step down. A little sketchy on that, so I need confirmation of a trend reversal before I would get into it. And honestly, with how much the stock moves, I'm okay with waiting till it gets up here to this regular block trade level at 71.70 or even potentially 77.04. If it gets up here, there's a gap that it wants to fill in this area here. But like I said, this is scary when it drops and then consolidates and drops again. So just be nimble with that. mRNA. Well, mRNA does this, right? It'll rally, it'll fall off, rally, fall off. So that's just what happens when you deal with a biotech, right? Or a COVID stock. So we have, I'm not going to call this bearish divergence because it hasn't had enough time for me to really be comfortable calling it that. I call it trading with price action right now, currently. So look for that level to bounce and come back up. If we can somehow get out of this range, if the algo can and start buying again, I'd be interested in taking mRNA up to the upside. I feel like these regular and dark pool levels are going to cause a lot of choppiness. There's a gap that needs to be filled. So let me just highlight some of those for you. We don't have any white lines on Mrna. We do have regular and dark pool support and resistance. Okay, 341.25 is your overhead regular block trade resistance. Immediately 329 on the nose. If we can get above that, then it can chop or move above, 329. Below that, we have 318.23. That's a support level, regular block trade support level. There's a gap that will need to be filled here. Right, it's a pretty gnarly gap. I would love to play this channel. Okay, so just be aware of that. And then we've got dark pools. Excuse me. We've got, why don't I use? Let's use this for dark pools. 323.41 dark pool resistance support, followed by 320.76. Right, those are your levels. I don't like playing chop. I like playing clean directional moves. So for me, it would be a break of this 341.25. I mean, there's a $10 move there. So if it could get above 329, I think it goes 329 to 341.25. Okay. All right. Check it out. CCJ, got you. I got you. Yes, I will look at FCEL. And then the bullish bears restream, I'm going to have to probably end it because I think the large caps chat's going to come in and take over the stream here in a minute. Okay. So I'll do you guys first. I'll do the F cell. F cell. I like this stock. This is a nice uptrend. Little cup and handle forming. The algo is trading with price action, right? Look, we got some bearish divergence that may need to play out. Sorry, I was just looking at some levels there. Lots of regular block trade levels, no dark pools, which is interesting. It's really interesting. There's no dark pools going into that. I wonder why. All right, so as far as the algo is concerned, it may be making a head and shoulders, right? It made a higher high, a higher low, right? So high, high, low, high. I don't know. It's tough with this one. So look for the algo to come up. If it can break its previous high, right, then I think we can see some continuation. Most of this divergence is already played out. That one's played out. That one's played out. That one's played out. That one's played out. This one just got through playing out, right? So, I mean, this is a nice, strong, uptrending stock, right? We have lots of regular block trade support and resistance, okay? Currently, the most recent one, $7.27. That's your regular block trade support, or the most recent one. Before that, we've got 735. And then I think there's one here at 724. All right. I believe those are the most valid regular block trades. As price action can bounce at this level here, I think that we can try to make a higher high. It's done a good job consistently of moving up, higher highs and higher lows. There's nothing that's going to give me any indication that that's not going to continue, unless this high right here that we just tip-tapped on, 785, if that's the rejection point, then we may come cool off a little bit. So there's nothing that lets me think that it's going to rally above 785. I think it might chop for a little bit until this algo can kind of get itself straightened out a little bit. Okay. CCJ. This is bearish divergence. Very good example of it, right? So we rallied up. Divergence has occurred there at this level. Price action sold off, which means that, or excuse me, the algo is selling off, net selling. So I'd expect price action to be pulled down below, all right, back down to complete the divergence. Let's see, diverged at, yeah, so let's see what we got here. The algorithm is currently consolidating in a downwards direction, right? See this? All right, you see this right here? If that algo breaks that, makes a lower low, then I think it's going to pull price action down and through. We do have regular and dark pool support and resistance. I'm going to highlight the dark pool because right now I think that's going to be the next downside target, right at 2047. With overhead dark pool resistance at 2533, 2552. We have regular block trade levels at 2569. I think that's a sell level. These might be buy levels for the dark pool. So it's important if it breaks below 2487, I think we're going to come down here and test, 2430, 2350, all the way down to 23 or 2295. And then divergence level, right? 2255. So it's super important that this bull flag that's forming, right, breaks above 2569. That should pull the algo up with it, right? Contrarian, if this breaks, right, and we get below 2487, I think we start stair-stepping our way back down. I would like to see from a fib level what's going on with this one. So the stock wants to pull back to the mean at 22, right? This is interesting. Could be a cup and handle forming. We failed to make a new high, so this is the move, right? Rallied up to the 618, 50% pullback. I don't know if we bull flag here or if we come back and test the 618 at 24, which I think we might need to do. So I'd look for a pullback to 24 and then continuation up. We have ready aim fire buy signal, slingshot squeeze release. This is the daily. So we've got another, at least another 6 sessions of that firing to the upside. I mean, yeah, cup and handle. Nice pullback, nice rally. Oh, so it pulled back off the daily. Actually, this is kind of bullish. Let me see what's going on with this algorithm again. CCJ, yeah. All right, so like I said, if the algo can get, if it can curl around and move up to the upside, it may pull price with it. CCJ, technically speaking, cup and handle, it's done a good job. Actually, you know what? It's pretty solid here. $1.30 ATR, rallied up, pulled back, tip-topped off of the daily top, and it's continuing to make a move to the upside. If it can take out previous highs, then I would look to go long on this. So what is going on with this stock? Oh, this is a 4-hour, okay. 4-hour. I mean, it's pretty solid. Depending on the market conditions, it may need to pull back to 24.50. Like I said, if it breaks below 24, then we come down and test 23 and 22. All right, this is going to be the last one I got to run. Hey, Martin, which websites do you open to check their price estimates of a stock? Like, which do you think are legit? I can't remember the name of it right now, but let me look into that and I'll leave a comment. I'll get back to you, Martin, on that, okay? CCJ did break previous highs and pull back, so I like this stock. I'm going to look to go long on any pullbacks. 821.34 stacked EMAs, this 200 support. So if 25.20 breaks, then that's an invalid play for me. Maybe even play it down to 23.26. However, if it holds, right? If it holds, then I'll look to go long on pullbacks. As far as fib levels go, expect a pullback to 25.60. Okay. All right, I got to run. Thanks for joining me once again. My name is Darkwell Algo. I'm here every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Standard Eastern Time. I stream for about 45 minutes before the open, and I think I went a little bit over. Let me see how I turn off this restream. How do I stop this? All right, I'm just going to shut it down. Thanks for joining me, y'all. I'll be here tomorrow. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit me up on Twitter, or you can reach out to me in one of the chat groups I'm in with y'all. Y'all know where to find me. Okay. Have a great day. Talk to you soon, and stay safe, stay green, and make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and oh yeah, those notifications. Have a great one.